Hey there everyone. In this video we'll be looking at how we can use variables in Python for our needs. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is how we can declare variables in Python. Okay, and declaring variables in Python is very easy. All you want to do is first of all type out the name of your variable. So let's say something like variable. Now, there's a problem with this. In Python, well, this applies for every language, but you need to keep in mind that you cannot use reserved keywords for your variable names. So I cannot type in variable because that's a reserved keyword in Python. Instead, I could type something like var x, but it's always preferred to keep it simple names that you can easily understand. So in this case, I'm just going to include my var, little bit of casing over there, my var, and then what you want to do is put the equal sign. So you're now assigning a value. So we've created our variable, but we want to assign a value to it, like declare a value in it, right? That's the whole purpose of a variable. It contains something. So we use the equal operator to assign it a value. And then here, I'm going to put a value. There we go. So now I have officially created a variable named myvar with the value of 5. I'm going to print it to the console now, myvar. Let's run it. There we go. It has appeared. So this is how you can declare variables in Python. Now, how do we assign variables to other variables, right? So let's say that we have a variable like y. So let's say my y var equals, and let's say it's 10. What if I want to assign it a different value? That's also simple. All I gotta do is just type in my y var and give it a new value now. So now when I click on print it out, my y var, there it's suggested, and run it, you can see it returns 15 because Python starts from the top and comes all the way down, and it notices that we have reassigned its value, and so it's going to print out whatever has latest been reassigned. So that's how variable reassignment works. Now, what about adding variables? It's a pretty much easy concept that you can see in a lot of programming languages, but here's how you do it. So let's say we have myvar1, and let's give it a value of 5. My var2 equals 12, and now let's print it out. To print it out, we can just go ahead and put my var1 plus my var2. Let's run it now. We get 17. Now, what if I want to store the answer in another variable? That's also possible. We can go ahead and put my answer var equals my var1 plus my var2, and now we can print out my answer var, and we still get 17. That's great. Now, a question I often get, and a question that I've also had before, is what if I want to create an empty variable? What if I just want to declare one right now, but later want to reassign a value to it later on in the code, like maybe through some loops, or maybe through some if statements, or control flow statements, anything like that? That's also possible. To create an empty variable, it's usually suggested you put like a small value in it that you can easily change. So let's pretend that I just want to create an empty string, and then I want to add my name to it later. So we could go ahead and say something like my name var, and we're just declaring it. Now, in this, we would just have to include some empty quotes. So this would count as an empty variable because there's nothing in this with this data type associated with it. See, there's no value inside this quotation marks, meaning there is nothing inside. So this counts as an empty variable. Same applies for a number also. Let's say I have my num var. I can give it a value of 0 because 0 is considered to be an empty value, right? Of course, it would still register when I print out my num var. numVar, of course it's still going to show 0, but I can reassign the value later through some, I don't know, through some control flow statements, or I can directly do it right now, but this is what people typically tend to do. They reassign the value later on. So there you go, guys. Those are the basics of Python variables. Thanks for watching.
If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down in the comment section, or simply join our Discord server and you can post them there. Thank you.